What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at Cataclismo, a real-time strategy game that I suppose answers the question of what do you get when you mix real-time strategy, like say StarCraft, with more traditional city builder elements. But speaking for myself, I thought this was an interesting indie title, but I do need to mention that the reason I'm able to bring you a look at this is because Hooded Horse, the game's publisher, reached out and asked if I would be interested in checking it out, and as I have enjoyed many of the indie games they've published, I said yes, but this game in particular is actually releasing into early access next Monday on the 22nd. So this preview is a little early, but from there let's talk about what this game is actually about. So, the game puts us in the role of the last survivors of humanity, trying to defend themselves against hordes of what they call horrors from the mist. The mist appears to be some manner of poisonous fog that saps the oxygen out of the air as well, which is obviously a bit of a problem for us. Now, in order to defend ourselves against these threats, we're going to be doing a few things, but the most important one, I would say, is building up fortresses and bases with a mix of real-time strategy elements. That is to say, we have a sort of main hub building, and then we can build resource gathering entities and houses for our workers to stay at, of course, affecting things like our overall population, and then we also have to train up military units to fight off the incoming waves. But we need to use our sparse military resources effectively, which basically means building up unique and interesting fortresses of your own design. You can do this very modularly via individual bricks or pieces of wood, or using some preset structures to make that a little bit faster. Now, sometimes this will be used for simple traversal. You need to move units from one place to another, and building up a path to do so is obviously important, but defense-wise, you have wood and you have stone. Wood is cheap and effective for traveling, but stone is what you want for defenses. What's more, though, is each of these has a support number associated with it, and in the case of stone in particular, it actually gets stronger the higher up you stack it, meaning that in order to effectively defend yourself, you want very tall walls with archers at the top, but units themselves have ideal ranges, meaning you might want to build some posts in the middle of said wall for individual units. But no matter what you build, you're going to be up against hordes of horrors. These are going to swarm your base typically at night, though you will see a few during the day, and you'll have to fend these guys off, as they will be actively attacking your base, tearing down walls and the like, if you are not effectively destroying them. But while those are the basics of the gameplay loop, what can we actually get up to? Well, there's a variety of different gameplay modes on top of a level editor and support for community added things. So starting with the community and level editor, basically you'll be able to build and customize your own levels and then upload them for the community to enjoy potentially, which is, I would say, a pretty standard thing for RTS titles these days. Now, beyond just that though, we have a few other game modes, but the main one, of course, being the campaign. Now, we won't have access to the whole thing in the early access period, but the campaign is a proper single-player narrative that essentially walks you through the storyline of a young woman named Iris, who is one of just a very few people in this world who have access to some form of magic, which obviously makes them incredibly valuable in this post-apocalyptic landscape. And she's on a journey for answers and the like to try to help humanity not just survive, but thrive, but we still have a few others as well. Now, another interesting one is the endless challenge mode, basically, where obviously, as it sounds, you'll build and fight off waves of endless monsters with the attempt to just live as long as you can. Then there is skirmish mode. These are essentially handcrafted single missions, so if you don't necessarily want to sit down for a whole campaign, but you still want to jump in for a little bit, that seems like the mode for you. Now, all of that said, I do not have pricing information for you, so I'm not sure what this game is going to launch at, but as long as it's not something outrageous, I think it could be a fun title for people to look at. And speaking for myself at the very least, I would say this game reminded me a lot of playing things like StarCraft or Age of Empires and intentionally just creating the strongest turtle that I possibly could. But here, the entire game loop is sort of revolving around that one specific aspect that I really enjoyed there. And if that sounds like something you would enjoy, you might want to take a look at this game. But that is pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Let me know how you feel about this one down in the comment section below. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.